Hey, Mitchell, I've got your math module program, so let's take a look at it together. All right, so create a word problem involves calculating volume surface area. So you got to choose between a cube, sphere, cylinder, and cone. Print the description of the word problem. Ask the user to enter the information necessary. Use 3.14 if your calculation needs pi. It may or may not, depending on what shape you used. Print the results. Write the pseudocode. Okay, so well, that says insert your pseudocode. This is not pseudocode. Oh, there's pseudocode down here. For the word problem, prompt the user for radius input, height input. Okay, so if you're doing radius and height, that means you're doing either a cylinder or a cone. Pi is 3.14. Calculate pi r squared height. Okay, so that is cylinder. And then 2 pi r radius plus height. Print the volume result, print surface area. Okay, so that's good pseudocode. So what's down under insert your code? This is factorial. This is a totally different, that's not even the assignment, I'm not sure. And I don't think that's going to work because that's, I don't know. Let's look at this one first. This appears, I guess this is the problem you're turning in for this assignment. We'll look at the other one just to see what that is in a minute. But let me check your questions out. First code calculates radius, the height. Second one calculates factorial number. There's only one program to do here. Let's see. Calculating radius and height of the project. I didn't have any issues besides confusion. I've got it to run how I wanted it. Oh, well, let's see. Oh, yeah. To code the program, use Python idle. Make sure you got your name, date, short description. Make sure you indent properly. Use meaningful names. All right, let's put this in Python idle and see what it looks like. Okay. I don't see your name, date, description. Well, the word problem can be a description, but there's no name and date. So really, whose program is this? Let's see what happens when I run it. Okay, it doesn't, usually an input statement, you should have some words there. Now I know if it printed this out ahead of time, print a water tank has a radius this many meters, a height of h meters. You need to calculate the volume surface area of the tank, enter the radius. Okay, so that's what this box was. So I would say, okay, the radius is 10. And I guess this is the height. We'll say the height is 50. Okay, so enter the height and radius, but that should be in your input statements, not in a print statement. See, we should take this right here, copy it, and put it in the input statement. Copy, put it in the input statement. So when you run this program, please enter the radius in meters, 10. Please enter the height in meters, 50. And then it says the volume of the cylinder is volume cubic meters. The surface area of the cylinder is surface area square meters. So this ran the way you wanted it. It said that you didn't have many issues, but you got it to run how I wanted it. This is how you wanted it. You wanted it to say, instead of calculating and telling me how many cubic meters is, you just wanted to have the word volume. Huh. Calculations, pi times a radius. Well, that's not how radius squared works. If you remember our lesson, you got to do power radius comma to the second power. That's how you take the radius squared. And of course, oh, that means at the beginning you're supposed to also, when you do power, from math import asterisk. You didn't have that statement at the top. You have to bring in the math functions for it to use the math functions. But then you didn't print what it calculated anyway, because I don't know. This looks like something that maybe ChatGPT wrote, because this doesn't work in Python idle. It prints volume. It prints surface area. See that volume and surface? That's exactly what it's printing. So I don't know if you found this on the internet for some other version of Python or some AI program wrote this for you, but this doesn't work because this is not how we write print statements. This is how ChatGPT writes print statements. These print statements work. Notice they print exactly what you wanted on there, but these don't print what we're wanting. So what's this F in the front? Did you want that to be part of that? Should the quote be on the other side of that? Do you want it to say F, the volume of cylinder? I don't know why you have an F out there either. So this is very odd. I mean, if I take those F's out, it still doesn't work. It still prints volume surface area as words. It doesn't tell me the volume surface. So I'm not sure. There's some problems here because you didn't write this correctly. So I'm thinking, is this ChatGPT doing it differently? Because ChatGPT calculates things differently than we do. It uses different version of Python than our Python, and there's different ways to write it, different updates. And let's see, 2 pi r squared plus 2 pi r height for surface area. You did 2 pi radius times radius plus height. That's not correct either. So this calculation is off because it should be 2 pi radius squared plus 2 times pi times the radius times the height. So we're missing some math right in there. I don't know. Not sure quite what's going on, but it's not working. Let's take a look at this other thing that you turned in just for grins and giggles. It's not part of your grade. Now this has your name on it and date and purpose. Now that's good. Okay, I'm gonna take out some space just so I can see more of it on the screen at the same time. This program calculates factorial number, and instead of defining main, you're defining a different function, a factorial function. This looks like it's probably written by AI as well. Let's put 5. Oh, look, the factorial of number is result. Huh. Well, that didn't tell me what the factorial of 5 is. Interesting. Okay. Well, I'm not grading this one. This one's something, but still, this is. I don't know if that's what you want it to say. I don't know why I put 5 in because it didn't even use the 5. A lot of issues here. I think you need to spend more time going through the lessons and learning the way that these things are supposed to work. Basic print statements, the power function, all these functions, different things. That it looks like you're trying to go out and find fancy ways on the internet to do some of these things, and it's not working. The volume of the cylinder is volume cubic meters. I don't know what that's supposed to end, but when you answered the question, you just said that's how you wanted it to be. You got it to run how I wanted. I don't understand that either because it doesn't produce any numbers. It's not producing the correct output. That's a logic error when it doesn't produce what it's supposed to produce, and it's not doing that. So I'll see what points I can give you, but a lot of it looks like it's problematic, and the fact that some of it looks like it's written by AI, quite honestly, because that's not how we write some of these statements on ours, or else you're finding it on the internet somewhere else. But you didn't use Python idle because it didn't work in Python idle. If you got it to work somewhere, you wrote it somewhere else. You didn't put it in Python idle. Didn't have your name, date, description on the program that you turned in. You did it on the extra program. I don't know. There's a lot of details you need to tidy up there, but I want to get this feedback to you to help you going forward, clean up a lot of these mistakes. Pay attention to the formulas because that second formula was wrong as well. But we don't do a whole lot of the math formula things. But we got other programs coming up that you have to pay attention to some details in there. So let me know if you got questions, and I'll get this to you and see you in class.